Ole, ole, people. It's championship soccer time in the great, wide, big world. And I'm going to use that to talk about things that are only slightly related, because that's kind of what I do here at my thing, blog, video, mess, spot. Here we go. If anyone out there likes soccer or football, they're aware that this time of year is championship time and that all the leagues in Europe wrap up and the Champions League comes to its dramatic conclusion. That's why I'm wearing the England jersey. It's an all-England final. Go England, I guess. So many around the world are fixed, hoping and praying for their side. I used to watch multiple games a week. I was a big Premier League fan. I was fortunate enough to be a Manchester United fan when the real greats were great and they never left for other clubs. I'm talking about like Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, that bunch. So I'm from Texas, and I sat front row at Old Trafford in Manchester only moments after almost colliding with every possible obstruction in my path, because the whole wrong side of the road thing is totally a thing in England anyway, totally epic. I've had a dream and nightmare at the same time, only one time in my life. The dream nightmare sequence was me watching a Man United game victorious. On the way home, I inadvertently mowed down a line of pedestrians out of sheer ineptitude. It was such a great dream and such a horrible nightmare. Anyway, who cares about me? Not even me. Alright, let's get back to the words. Part of what makes watching English games so fun is getting to listen to the announcers. Their colloquialisms and method of calling the game are completely different than announcers in the States. I think it's more poetic, but that's perhaps a grass is greener thing, or grass is greener on the other side of the ocean thing. I could be a victim of the fancy accents that they have, and we all have our weaknesses. One of the things they say when a guy is playing well is that he's, quote, full of belief. This is one of my favorite expressions, and it's such a cool way of explaining that a player is on his game. It doesn't necessarily mean to describe a recently scored goal or an incredible play, but just an overall aura that the player has, a feeling you get when a certain person gets the ball, you know. I played the game growing up myself a lot, and I know exactly what they're saying. It means you're not afraid to make a mistake. I think if it means anything, that's it. So, but when I'm on stage or writing, being full of belief, quote unquote, is absolutely crucial. Imagine being a footballer of the highest class, you know, soccer. You could think of the time on the clock and the opposing players and the fans and how your wife is going to react if your contract doesn't renew. Or you could just be out there full of belief. Call it confidence, call it self-assurance, self-esteem, stridency, an intrepid spirit, courageous, unafraid, sanguine, unflappable, composed, insuperable, chin up. Call it any of those things, but it's better summed up as, quote, being full of belief, unquote. I'd do an accent, but come on. Anyway, that other crap is secondary, the fans and the bright lights. It's what you need to do. Note, this won't keep you from screwing up, not at all. But it'll limit your screw-ups, because you're not afraid. You're full of belief. Try belief and see how you produce. There's something spiritual about performance in any arena, from relationships to the office, to the field, to the written or spoken word. The English got a few things right. I think they should rent out Buckingham Palace at extremely low prices to people that need a place to crash and don't have much money. Have you ever been to London? It's expensive. So give us a break then. Friggin' Brits. I kid, but I love our monarchical overlords. That's it from me. This is Tyler Has Words. Cheers. Be full of belief. See you after.